Hey guys, it's Ace. So today I'm bringing you guys the third part of the computer build series, and as the title states, it's how to choose a motherboard. So to start off, let's go over what I chose as my CPU from the last video, which was the i7-4970K CPU. It clocks in at 4.0 gigahertz and can be turbo boosted to a 4.4 gigahertz, and it costs about $340. So this is important to know when you're getting your motherboard. What CPU do you want? Because you can't choose your motherboard without your CPU, because CPUs, depending on the generation, depending on the brand, like AMD or Intel, there's different socket sizes. For the Intel 4970K, the socket size is the LGA 1150, if I'm not mistaken. So my motherboard has to be able to support this LGA 1150 socket size. To find your socket size of whatever CPU you're looking for, you go to the details or specs of the CPU from any website, or when you're doing the research on your CPU, and it should say socket size or something that is very similar to those words. And then once you find that socket size of that CPU, you have to look for motherboards that support that socket size. Motherboards have different, can sometimes support 4 or 5 different socket sizes, but make sure that it supports your socket size, because if it does not support your socket size, it will not work with your CPU. I state again, it will not work with your CPU. So the next thing is to always look at your ratings and research. So pretty much every website or wherever you're going to buy your motherboard or other pieces of equipment usually have a rating for that product. Always look at that product rating. If it's out of 5 stars, I would say go for the 4-5 star rating product, and if it's out of 10, the 8, 9, 10 product ratings. Always look for the top 2 or 3 range. Sorry. And if it's like a 3.5 but you think it should be a 4 or 5, look at the comments that people have left. It could be that it's a dead on arrival thing, and it's not actually the motherboard, and it's the shipping company or the website or place you're buying it from that ships it out dead on arrival motherboards. And if it's this case, look at other websites, look at other places to buy it, and see if their rating is higher. Next, on the research, always do your research on your products. Whenever you're buying anything, it's not just motherboard, computer parts, or computers themselves. Anything you're buying, do your research. Because there could be better things for cheaper than what you've noticed. And doing your research will help you find these products that are better and cheaper. Or maybe a little bit more expensive, but are so much better that it's worth it. The next thing is that it fulfills your current requirements, and you can build upon your current computer build and not have to rebuild a computer set or build. So for me, I need, as I stated, the LGA 1150 socket size on my motherboard that is compatible, and then at least 2 PCIe slots, because I'm getting the Elgato 60 Pro HD and their caption card, and it's a PCIe. And then if I'm not mistaken, my video card is also a PCIe that I already have. It's currently being used with my old build, and if I'm not mistaken, it's a PCIe. So I need at least 2. But as I stated, always build your computers so that you can expand on them. So since I need 2, I should go with 3 or 4, so that if in the later run, something comes out like a hard drive or something that runs off the PCIe, or another capture card or something like that that I want to add to my computer, I have the slots and I don't have to go ahead and buy a new motherboard to be able to use this. And some motherboards like the Asus Maximus 7, if I'm not mistaken, it was already compatible with the new generation of CPUs. It was created for the 5th generation i7s, which were the 4970K CPUs. But they were already able to go up to the Skylake CPUs, which are the Generation 6 CPUs. So always look for these benefits in motherboards and stuff like this, because it will help you decide on a motherboard that is hopefully cheap if your budget isn't that high, hopefully cheap, and goes along with your stuff. And as I just stated, also look at your budget. If your budget is very short or can't or you don't have that much money to spend the money wisely. Get a motherboard that does what you need, and nothing extra and nothing less. This is where thinking of expanding later does not come into account if your budget is less. If your budget is more, or you have an infinite amount of money to work with, think of expanding later on. So a couple of updates, guys. So next week I'm going to be posting a Minecraft video, so look forward to that. And also, by the end of this week or next week, I should have another Gadgets Under 50 video up. So look out for those 2 videos. Hope you guys like this video. Comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you, guys.